We've got broad experience in education, and it's across various providers in the sector. So we have worked for universities, we have worked for private schools, we work for state schools. All of them have their own unique ways of working, all of them have their unique challenges. For example, private schools and the university tend to have a lot of historic stock, which is occasionally listed, and then we have to be sensitive to the alterations that we're making to those buildings. You're then looking at a state school whose stock was built in the 60s or 70s, and they're falling into a state of disrepair. So if you think about the recent, or relatively recent, fuss around rack, or other forms of construction that we would consider now, like wood wall slab roofs, and where they've got wet and started to collapse. We've got a broad range of experience of working with all these different structural forms because of the number of clients we have had in the education sector.
And even just the small works where they're repurposing classrooms or trying to link two classrooms to create a more flexible working space, just because those forms of construction that we see, we've got that experience. So you can go and look at something and go, oh, it's that, or it's this, or we get in there and we're getting in and doing the work, rather than saying we need someone else to come and look at this, or you need that person. So a lot of it is repurposing existing stock, and having that knowledge allows us to kind of advise what you can and can't do.
Yeah, except the swimming pools, they've all been infilled, and then people have forgotten they're there. They'll have a nasty shock, I think. Yeah.
So I think trying to get us in as early as possible, if they're doing master planning or feasibility, that's probably the advice I would give. Because if they're going to spend a lot of time and money and invest that time in trying to repurpose some assets for one particular part of their school, we might come in and go, actually, you'd be better off looking at this area, or that's not feasible because of these reasons. As Rhys just said, there could be a swimming pool under there and they're trying to turn it into a sports hall, or a dance room, or a drama studio, where the roof might not be suitable for hanging all the lights that they need.
I think for me, what I'd really like them to do is make sure they've got or had a good look for any record drawings. An example that springs to mind is the conversion of basement squash courts into classroom space. No one knew where the waterproofing was or how the basement was tanked, which made it very difficult for us to then be able to accurately describe or suggest how we would support the new structure, the new floor structure, without potentially damaging the waterproofing membrane that was going to keep those classrooms dry. We did some localised testing to try and understand where the waterproof line would be. Essentially, we had a choice of damaging the wall or the floor, and long story cut short, we found the membrane there by digging a trial pit outside, so we knew where it was, and we were able to establish the thickness of the wall, which meant that we were able to use the walls rather than the floor, and we just left the floor well alone.